G'day guys, Mick here. Look, I wasn't going to release a video today, um, but in light of a recent incident, I kind of feel compelled to do something. Now, for those of you that follow my Facebook and Instagram, you may already be aware of this situation. But during the week, I went to one of my favourite camp spots. I saw a ute parked up on the side there. On my way into the spot, thought nothing of it. I had a bit of a nap. I set up my camp, had a bit of a nap in the car, things like that. Then when I got up, decided I'm going to go for a bit of a walk. I did a bit of a walk. On my way back from the walk, this was about 3 hours after I initially spotted that ute. On my way back from the walk, I looked over, and there's a guy standing on top of the ute, and it looked like there was a rope running from in front of the ute, I thought from the ground, from a tree or something on the ground, up over a branch and then down in front of the guy, and I'm like, hey, that looks a bit weird. So I yelled out jokingly, hey, you're not going to hang yourself with that, are you? Not thinking that that's actually what I'm faced with. When the guy stood dead still, didn't make a sound, didn't flinch whatsoever when I spoke up, I was like, there's something going on here. This ain't right. So I slowly walked over toward the vehicle and was, mate, are you alright? Do you want to talk? And as I got closer, I realised that the rope was tied to the bull bar of the car and around this guy's neck. So I was faced with somebody about to try and kill themselves. Now, look, guys, I'm not doing this because I want sympathy. I'm doing this because I want to talk about mental health. I'm very grateful that I managed to untie the rope from the bull bar of the vehicle, and the guy took off. He was in a work uniform. I won't say what company or anything like that, but he was in a work uniform. When he took off, I contacted the police and I told them all the information, that he was in a work vehicle and all this sort of stuff. Police got in contact with his work, and they come to find out that he had returned to work and then he'd left. They tried to offer him some support and a counsellor and stuff like that. I think he spoke to a counsellor for a little bit or something, then took off and met up with his wife and went home. Eventually, I've come to find out that he did get taken to the hospital and everything to be assessed and whatnot. So he's in good hands, and people are trying to look after him and get him the support that he needs. But that's why I thought I wanted to talk about this one, because in honesty, it has shaken me a bit. I never thought I'd witness somebody wanting to do that. I've been there myself. I've wanted to do it. I've almost done it a number of times. But no, I never have. I've never got that close. But I've been pretty close to attempting. And I've dealt with suicidal thoughts for a long time. And I've been fighting depression and anxiety for a long time as well. I was not long ago diagnosed again with social anxiety, meaning that I can't handle being around large groups of people. So like this time of year for me, trying to go and do my grocery shopping is an absolute nightmare, simply because of the crowds. I'm kind of in a lucky situation now, that because of my previous experiences and the therapy I went through, the counselling and all that sort of stuff, I've learnt to cope with my problems, and I've learnt how to and what to do to try and bring myself out of these thoughts and this mindset. Part of it's going for a walk in the morning, going for a bushwalk, going down to the beach, going camping, things like that. That's where I get my mind right, is by getting outdoors. And I believe that that's one of the biggest things, is you've got to find a way to get your mind right. meditation, things like that. I haven't really meditated in quite a while, but no, I still burn incense when I'm editing videos in here. I might be burning incense and things like that just to wind myself down and keep myself relaxed. Or I'll get out into the bush. I'll sit on this recliner here and I'll have a poppy nap during the day and burn some oils or something. Things like that. It's not so much meditating, but it's calming for me and it helps me to deal with my anxieties and my depression. Um, but the big thing is, you know, there's so many people out there, and that's where just recently talking with this guy's boss, because I've contacted the company myself to try and chase up and make sure he's okay, and to offer any further support, my name and phone number and things like that, in case he wants to reach out and talk to me, and he just wants a stranger to talk to, and just offer support in any way I can. So just talking with this guy's boss, the fella is an older person, and he he's in that mindset, as a lot of guys are, that if you talk about mental health problems or talk about your problems in general, then you're weak. And it's not the case. Especially when it comes to mental health like depression and PTSD and things like that. It's not a sign that you're weak. Depression and PTSD and things like that are a sign that you've been strong for too long and that you can only take so much. So, for anybody out there, that whether you want to admit that you've got a problem or not, if you're struggling to deal with things, if you are getting suicidal thoughts or anything like that, go and find someone to talk to. You've got Beyond Blue, Men's Helpline, Black Dog Institute, countless other places, counsellors and neighbourhood centres and things like that can get you into somebody to talk to. Just a random stranger. And like I offered this guy to come back to camp for a beer, and sit down and have a chat and things like that, in the hope that he could open up and just vent and let it out and get it all off his shoulders. Because us guys in particular, we're renowned for trying to carry it all on our shoulders, all the burden, everything with our family, work and life and everything else is all on our shoulders. Even though it doesn't need to be, it is, and we carry it like that, and it does bring us down. And it can really wear you out mentally. So if you feel that you're having any form of problems, guys, please speak out. Go and seek some help. And if there's any ladies watching this and you feel that your loved ones might be doing it, and what I'm saying here applies for the ladies too, not just the guys. If there's any ladies watching this, you feel that your husband or your partner, boyfriend, whatever it might be, could be going through some problems, try and talk to them. It's really hard to talk to friends and family about this sort of stuff. It's much easier to talk to a stranger where you don't give two shits what they think. Like for me, it was a lot easier to open up to a therapist than it was to open up to my wife or my friends and things like that. But it really is a lot easier to open up to a stranger. So reach out to somebody if you're going through this. Look at the previously mentioned Black Dog Institute, Beyond Blue, Men's Helpline, things like that, because there's people out there to help. There is help available. And this time of year in particular, and coming up to the Christmas, people's stress levels are so goddamn high with Christmas as it is. And that thought that you've got to buy everybody these awesome presents and you've got to spend all this money on decorations and spend all this money on putting on a big fancy friggin' feast for the whole family and spend all this money on presents and shit like that. And I did an Instagram post and that on this recently, where talking about how people call me the Grinch this time of year because I just think the stresses that are put onto people are unnecessary, and really not needed. Christmas is supposed to be about spending time with family and your loved ones. It's not about material products. I don't give two shits if I get a present off anyone. Um, you know, it's not about material products. It's about spending time with family and friends and loved ones. This weekend, actually, while you are watching this on Sunday, I'll be at my family Christmas party with all my family. I don't care about presents. I care about spending time with them. Now, I lost my grandfather back in February, and last Christmas was the last one I had with him. Very well, maybe the last one I had with Nan. Uh, that's what's important, is family. So, alright guys, that's it. I'm not going to tell you to like, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe. I'm going to tell you that if you're struggling, get help.